What to do, YouTube? I know it's been a minute since we talked about some Miami Dolphins news. A little bit of both, video game and Miami Dolphins news. Madden 19 is about to drop. I like to call this a premature roster breakdown real fast. Like, you know, over the past 3 years, what year we on? We're on year four. Over the past 3 years, we've been doing the roster breakdowns for the Miami Dolphins. Last year, I took a break and actually didn't do all 32 teams. And again, this year, I'm just going to do the Miami Dolphins. But like I said, this is a premature roster breakdown. You know, we're going to go over. It doesn't have the complete roster, only like the top 3 guys for each position, so it get your mind in the right spot as far as where particular players stand at. But we're gonna start off with the quarterback position. You got Ryan Tannehill getting the 78 overall. I've been listening to a lot of pro football focus interviews and stuff like that, and they have Ryan Tannehill rated very high at the end of the 2016 season. And to be honest, I don't think Ryan Tannehill's overall should have dropped down 3 or 4 overall points from the 81. I think it should have stayed at the 81 because, like, I was looking over some of the other players, other rosters of other players, and some of their overalls didn't change. Some of them went up. You know, they didn't play the whole 2017 season. Maybe only played a couple of games in 2017 season, but they produced numbers, and their overall didn't change. So I think honestly, 81 overall would have sufficed for Ryan Tannehill because he ended 2016 on a high note. Running back, we got Kenyan Drake at 82 overall. I believe that's a little bit of I think maybe an 84, 85 would be good enough for Kenyan Drake. Maybe I'm just biased, but hey, you know what it is. But I tell it like it is. But yeah, Kenyan Drake at 82 overall. Frank Gore, he ended up getting a 76. We got at the receiver position, you got Danny Amendola. He's got an 85 overall. Kenny Stills at 84. Devontae Parker at 81. Albert Wilson a 77. And you have Jakeem Grant sitting at a 73. Tight end, you got Mike Gesicki, 77 overall, and AJ Derby is 77 overall. I think AJ Derby may be a little bit high, to be honest, considering how the lack of production that we have seen from him as far as him being in the Miami Dolphins uniform. But hey, I'll take it. Nice little dual tight end set going on there. Going to the offensive line, I'm liking what I'm seeing from this offensive line so far. Like, it's crazy how they only have 4 offensive linemen. They don't even have the right guard position. So going into training camp, the word is that Jesse Davis is going to be the starting right guard for the Dolphins. So Josh Sitton is sitting at a 88 overall at the left guard position. Jawan James 84 overall. Laremy Tunsil a 77 overall at the left tackle position, and Daniel Kilgore, the new center that we got from the San Francisco 49ers, he got a 73 overall. Looking at it, well, they made an announcement yesterday that they added some new attribute ratings in there. So I'm gonna be interested to see exactly what I think one of them was more of it was like something about finesse pass blocking, and you know, like blocking finesse pass rushers. You know, more of a strength pass rusher. They got those type of offensive linemen and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what they give these particular offensive linemen, because what I'm looking at right now, like the offensive line looks the best since 2012, I would say. Look, it's looking better than it's looking almost as good as the 2012 offensive line with the Miami Dolphins. Remember Richie Incognito, Jake Long, Proctor, John Jerry. He was probably the weak link at the right guard position. But moving on, at the defensive line, like, we are deep in this rotation right here, real deep, real fucking deep. Look at this. Cameron Wake gets an 89. Honestly, like I said, when I was listening to some Pro Football Focus, and stats don't always tell the whole story with some of these positions. Hurries is a stat, but really, who calculates stats as far as if you log in on NFL.com, you're not going to see the amount of hurries for a player's a defensive lineman's particular stats, and that plays a big role in, I believe, in how they rate some of these defensive players. To be honest, because I believe a couple years back when I went on this tangent about Olivier Vernon, how he shouldn't have got this money from the New York Giants, but I didn't pay attention to the whole big picture as far as his hurries. That plays a big factor. But Cam Wake, honestly, I think he should have been rated a little bit higher. Top 10 in sacks. Come on now. Like, just because he's over 30 doesn't mean he has to get an 89 overall. But put him in the 90s. Put him in the 90s. But he's producing numbers every single year. William Hayes, 87 overall. Didn't exactly finish the whole season. I like William Hayes. Great run-stuffing defensive lineman. And the newcomer over from the LA Rams, we have Robert Quinn. I can see that overall going up. He's got an 81 overall. Charles Harris, also I see his ratings going up. This is sitting at a 78 overall. Andre Branch, 75 overall. Jordan Phillips, a defensive tackle. High expectations for him, 74 overall. Devon Godshaw, 74 overall. Akeem Spence coming over from the the Detroit Lions, excuse me. Got a 74 overall. And moving on to the linebacker position, they ain't exactly disclosed enough. I'm kind of disappointed. I have to wait till August 3rd for the early release date for Madden to actually look at Jerome Baker's stats. But Raekwon McMillan got a 73 overall, and Kiko Alonso dropped drastically. He went down to a 73 overall as well. Like again, I have to wait till August 3rd to actually see Jerome Baker's stats. Probably gonna be something like in the 60s, like 66, 69, maybe something like that. But we'll see on the 3rd of August. But moving on, at the cornerback position, we have got Bobby McCain sitting at a 79 overall. Bobby McCain just got that contract extension. We're gonna get into that later. But I think maybe 79 is a little high for Bobby McCain, even though he probably played the most consistent football year round. But Xavier Howard got a 75 overall. I thought he turned it on towards the end of the season, so I think it should have been boosted up to at least like a 70, 79, 80-ish. Maybe that's a little too high, 79, 80. But if he can keep that consistency how we had the last 4 games of the season, I think he'll be a premier corner. Tony Lippett, he sat out the whole 2017 season with a leg injury as well. Has a 77 overall, a little bit high to be honest, but this cornerback position is going to be deep as far as depth for the Miami Dolphins. So can't wait to see the rest of the roster. Cordair Tankersley, can't wait. Safety, we have Reshad Jones, got a 91 overall. Yeah, you know what my biggest beef was when I looked at these ratings was Reshad Jones. Like, yeah, I'm riding it. All right, I'm riding it. But I think you're going to have to produce numbers for you to basically put up one player better than another. And I believe Eric Berry was ahead of Reshad Jones by like 2 points, overall points or something like that. I got to look at it again. But yeah, I think Reshad Jones should have him beat out just because he's been able to play consistently. But Minkah Fitzpatrick, 79 overall, the rookie. That's the 79 overall. TJ McDonald at 76 overall. And of course, they have the kicker, Matt Hawk, at an 80 overall. Now, again, this is a premature roster for the Miami Dolphins. To be honest, I like to see all the attributes, speed, strength, all that stuff. But we're just going to have to wait till August 3rd to look at that stuff. But let me know what you guys think. You know what it is. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is GreatOne DeVore. I'm up out of here.